This is all I got. This is all I got. Don't take my baby, okay? I've been away from my baby for 2 months. Paint the picture of systematic racism. I'm just gonna say the uninvolved fathers has made it bad for the involved fathers. And yes, some of y'all are like, oh, he got the ugly cry face. I do got the ugly cry face. I'm sorry.
For the first time in a while, I feel that black men, we finally got a victory. For those of you that don't know what I'm referring to, the legendary, and I do mean legendary singer, Tyrese Gibson's daughter, Shayla Gibson, has now agreed to terms since she's turned 18 to actually move in with her father and distance herself away from her mother. And I'm not coming today talking about division or anything like that. I want to talk about the state of black men and how this is a victory for us. As we all remember, November 1st, 2017, Tyrese put out the legendarily viral video of him crying, expressing his loss towards him not being able to see his daughter and everything emotionally he was going through. Back then, I had no idea what was going on because I really didn't dwell in, a personal business like that. But looking back on it now, it seems that Tyrese was somebody who had an extremely deep bond with his daughter. And throughout her life, he's always been an active father. And it was a situation to where his ex-wife was trying to strip him of his parental rights. And she basically was taunting him in a way, saying that, he'll never be able to see his daughter, stuff like that. And Tyrese went ballistic. Now, if you remember that time, at the very beginning of that entire situation, to me it was kind of funny in the very beginning because, it was something that we'd never seen before. A celebrity be that outwardly spoken about something like that. And once time went on and the honeymoon phase of it went away, I started looking at that video completely different. And how a man was expressing himself in the only way that he really knew how. And he felt that that something precious was being taken away from him and nobody really understood. And we really didn't know the ins and outs of it, what went on with them, behind closed doors. But apparently his daughter, Shayla, had wanted to distance herself away from her mother when she got the chance. And it goes to show how things normally take a turn. Because, like in 2017, Tyrese was accused of abusive behavior that led to a temporary restraining order, and he had to supervise visitation. And we really didn't know the details of what was going on. Everybody just made speculations. But looking back on it now, And the reason that I say it's a victory for black men is because I see a lot of black men around the world going through these kinds of things to where they have to fight for custody of their children. They have to fight for their right to prove that they're great parents. When in all actuality, the woman normally doesn't have to prove that. And it goes to show that black men, if you stay on the up and up and you do what's right, normally the kids will see who's who. Because I've seen many situations to where the father is a great father, but because the relationship didn't work out for whatever reason between the mother and the father has to pay the ultimate price of not being able to see the kids. And in my opinion, when it's a situation like that, when kids are involved, it's not about it's not about the parents anymore. It's mainly about that kid and putting your differences to the side for the love of that kid, making sure that even though you guys aren't together, they grow up in a nurturing environment. That stuff is important. And it goes back to the mother. It's no telling what this young girl seen in her life growing up from her mother. Because, in my opinion, I believe that daughters are more attached, not more attached, but I believe that daughters have a special bond with their mother when the mother is an active mother. So for her to say, hey, I don't want any parts of this, that speaks volumes on Tyrese's part, in my opinion. That speaks volumes on the type of person and the type of man that he is. And, I feel like once kids get a certain age, they start seeing things a lot differently and they're able to make sound decisions based on what they've seen growing up. And she's probably seen that her father wasn't the problem. And the reason that I say that it's a win for black men is because, hey, black men, all you have to do is hang in there. All you have to do is continue to be a present father, continue to be that strong role model for her, continue to hold yourself up in the highest of highs. And in turn, when it's all said and done, your child will see that. And when they get of age, they'll make that decision to attach themselves to you. And in my opinion, that says a lot about the mother, considering that she chose Tyrese over her and she spent most of the time with the mother. In my opinion, that says a lot about the mother, but I'm not trying to bash anybody. But yeah, it's a great victory for black men, and I just want all black men to keep in mind to keep your head up during these rough times, if you may be going through it raising your children and trying to be an active father and the mother's giving you a hard time. My brothers, keep your heads up and continue to be you in the most positive way and continue to fight the good fight. And if you continue to do things like that, in the end, your kids will come and the your kids will see the light in you and they'll see the right. And I'm not talking to every single father because I know not every single father falls into this category. I'm talking specifically to the men that do right by their children. I'm not trying to include all men, just the men that do right by their children. You know, when your child gets of age, that child will see, and that child will normally make the sound right decision if they're not manipulated completely by that age. But big ups to Tyrese, and hopefully this situation gives other black men hope, and hopefully this proves to other women and to other men that black fathers are important and that black fathers do matter.